Hello my crafty friends, it's Terry from Veegstez Creates and I'm here today to share with you the contents of the brand new Tonic Craft Kit number 54, which is Wildflower Garden. So I'm very lucky that Tonic have kindly sent me this to work on some samples for the launch. So for those of my regulars that come back every month to see my craft kit unboxing and project share videos, you'll be getting to see this one early. So usually I would post this at the beginning of April, but I'm going to be posting it on March the 20th. So let's dive in and have a look at what we've got. So we've got a binder, we've got our bag of Nuvo goodies, the craft kit obviously, and the papers. So I like to start with the papers because it gives us an idea of the colour palette that we're going to be working with. So we've got a lovely beautiful purple there, pearlescent black cardstock. That looks like majestic gold or lemon luster. I think that one is. I think that one might be pink chiffon. So it's the lovely matte mirror card. We've got a glossy black here. Oh, it's really vibrant and lovely. I think this might be grass green in the Craft Perfect textured one, and then a deeper green here. And then a high gloss green mirror card, which might make the camera go a bit crazy. And I think that's Firestone Red, the iridescent high gloss mirror card. So we've got a really interesting colour palette here. You know, we've got black, green, red, and pink and purple, and beautiful yellow as well, so really nice and varied. We've also got some of the patterned paper which we've been used to seeing now for the last several months. So we've got a lovely vibrant stripe on one side, and then a very subtle it's a pale yellow background with some white foliage pattern on there. So that's really pretty, and obviously they're double-sided, so you can use either side. So what else do we have? If we have a look, so we've got Wildflower Garden, so that's going to go straight on the front, as I always do in my craft videos. And the little pattern here in the Wildflower Garden matches this exactly, and the colour matches here, but that's the pattern. And if we look at the stamps, put this behind some white card for you. So we've got some beautiful florals, we've got some pots to put the florals in. A couple of nice sentiments: wishing you a bright and beautiful day, which is really nice and generic, so it could be used for any occasion. Bloom and grow, and hello. So fabulous sentiments that can be used for anything. Then we've got a nice brick detail here, so we can use that in a repeating pattern. And then the dies are really quite interesting. So there's a hell of a lot in here. We've got lots of floral and foliage dies. We've got some grass. We've got a foliage archway. We've got more florals and foliage over here. A butterfly. Some plant pots outlines to cut out these, so no fussy cutting needed, which is excellent. And then I think the main sort of elements that we've got are centered around these 5 dies here. So we've got this die here that cuts out a window or an archway. I think the idea is that because it's Wildflower Garden, when I look at this, I can see that it could be either if you're on the outside looking in to a beautiful big open window in like one of those big beautiful country houses, or so for example this is just a sort of window shaped die which will cut out, whereas this which fits inside it, this cuts out, that's a cutting line, but right here that's a crease line, an embossed line, so it would cut down the middle and then these would open, so we could turn these into gates. So if we put this pattern in here, that could be like decorative golden gates, or I think that could be also used as like a window. So like these are like shutters that open, and then maybe have like a sort of window box there inside, so you open up and then have some of the smaller flowers, and maybe even some of the grass, so it's like a long window box. And then there's this other die which again would fit inside there, and that is the same. So this cuts out, and this cuts out, but these are fold lines again. So these gates, which are like smaller, you would use with this like smaller gate die, and then obviously there's this top piece, and then there's a little sign here which says welcome, so I could see that hanging from there, so like welcome to the Wildflower garden, and then home. So I'm really seeing like sort of two images, main images in my mind of the way that this can be used. So as the entrance to a beautiful wildflower garden in a country house, or as windows that you could either be looking out of or looking into. So you could also create like maybe a tunnel card using this. So lots and lots of ideas around this, which is really exciting. What have we got in terms of Nuvo? So, oh, I'm going to tease you. So we've got a little mini embellishment mousse, which is in Indian gold, so beautiful, lovely, bright gold. We've got a double-ended blending brush. That's fab. That's really, really generous. That's excellent. We've got, so last month we had our sequins in this, or not last month, it was last month for me because I'm filming this in February, but in February's kit we had sequins in this shaped pot, so I'm thinking this is like the new shaped pot for the glitter that Tonic have come out with. Pure sheen glitter, and it says used with Nuvo glue pens in a beautiful deep purple colour. Purple and gold I think go really well together. We've got a full size Nuvo drops here in pink orchid, which is beautiful and vibrant. We've got a little baby Nuvo, oh, crystal glaze, excellent. So that, if you haven't used that before, here's the full size version, which I use quite often. I used it on a project yesterday, but that is you know, it's like a clear like glue type stuff, and then you put it on, and when it's dry it just leaves a lovely shiny effect. So if you haven't played with that, that's excellent. And then, oh, we've got an aqua flow pen as well in the colour cinnamon stick. And then we've got a pack of cards. So we've got a pack of USA 6 card blanks, which are always useful. They're sort of my go-to, really, to be honest. I just find they're really good quality. So many possibilities, such an excellent kit with lots to do. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go away and think of a couple of ideas, and then I will come back and show you. I'll have cut out all the pieces and designed the make, and then we'll do that on camera with you. So I'll see you back in a moment. Okay, so I've done all the preparation for this card, and it's quite a bit. It's quite an involved card, but I think it's going to look really nice. So as I said, I thought that this die set would really lend itself well to a tunnel card. So what I've done is I'm going to use one of the A6 card blanks out of the pack provided in the kit, and I'm going to turn it into an easel card. So I scored at 2 1/4, which is half of the width, and the actual panel will then stick onto the front of here, and then I'll put a stopper here to make it stand up. The front panel is going to be raised up on foam pads here, and this is actually 3 pieces of card thick, so it's quite thick, and if I tilt it in the light you can see these shiny brick patterns. So I coloured the whole of the front panel in the lovely cinnamon stick aqua pen, which is like the perfect colour for a wall. And then I just wanted a subtle brick effect, so instead of using ink, I've just used a clear mark ink and just like stamped it on randomly, and then just used clear embossing powder, so you can just sort of see it adds extra texture when tilting in the light. And then for the next layer underneath, I've used these dies in conjunction with this die here, and cut directly into the panel so that we get the opening gates. And to give them this lovely golden effect, I rubbed all over both sides with the Indian gold embellishment mousse and left that to dry overnight, and it's fine, like it doesn't come off or anything once it's dry. So that's going to be the second layer. So you're actually going to be sort of able to open up these gates through this, or sort of have them half open like that. And then for the back panel, I've cut some 300 GSM Craft Perfect, and then I've cut a backing 1/4 inch shorter than the size of the card, and used some of that nice patterned paper. And these are all my bits and pieces that I've spent ages cutting. So basically this is also going to be raised upon foam pad, so it's going to be very nice and dimensional. So I want like these nice sprigs of foliage to be peeking out. So because it's going to be such a dimensional card, I'm going to stick some things to the back, I'm going to stick some things to the inside of here, because to say there is going to be dimension. So we've got foliage, we've got florals, we've got grass, we've got some little plant pots. These are going to go at the front, so I'm going to have grass here and then some plant pots with some florals coming out. Some I've coloured out of cut out of white cardstock and then just coloured in with the Nuvo alcohol markers and a bit of pencil crayon, and some I've used some of the speciality cardstock in the kit. And then I just used the smaller of the 2 pots, because I tested the Aquaflow out on a bit of card here, and then I stamped on the images, and then I've just added some dark brown pencil crayon around the edges to give it some depth. So I'm now going to assemble this, and I'm going to speed it up and add some music to it so that it's not really long video. So sit back, grab a cup of tea and watch me assemble this. So for this card, I'm going to make a trifold card, and it's going to be an inside the house looking outside. So I've used this die to cut directly into the front of the card, and then I used just the outline die to cut this, which is going to go on top of here. So what's going to happen is this is another card blank, and I've just trimmed a little bit off this edge here so that it fits more snugly. So that's going to go there, and when you're looking, and this is going to go over the front of the card here, leaving a nice border, so it's like a nice indoors scene. I'm also going to use the little die here saying home, so I'm going to have that on here, and I've cut these shutters out. So that was using these two dies here, so the large one and then the small one for the shutters. So we've got nice white shutters that open, and then on the inside you're going to see this, except it's also going to have the pot on it. So all shall become clear as we start assembling. I thought it would be really nice to have in front of the shutters here, to have like a little window box, so like with some faux grass here and some little florals. And I'm also going to put some acetate. I've got some construction weight acetate here from, which is Craft Perfect, which I'm going to put behind. And I may or may not use crystal glaze as well to give it extra shine. I'm not decided 100% on that yet. So you'll notice there's a little rip in the paper here from when I was die cutting that, but it doesn't matter because that's going to be covered up by the yellow paper and the shutters, so I'm not concerned about that. Although I will just use my eraser on it to make it a bit smoother. There we go. So I say these things sometimes happen, and it's just about working with it. So I'm going to stick the pot onto the flowers here. So that was using some of the lovely cinnamon stick aqua flow pen. In fact, I've just seen a little stray corner that I need to chop off. I'm such a perfectionist. There we go. And this stamp here, so I just added a few leaves, just hand drew a few leaves on there, and then I've coloured these in with the Nuvo alcohol pens. So I'm just going to stick this part onto here, and then we'll be able to, once the front is assembled, we'll be able to use that as a guide to get this in the perfect position. So I'm going to start assembling now, and I'm just going to speed this up and put some music on for you, so settle back and enjoy that. Okay, so I'm actually going to make a bonus card. I'm having a bit of one of those moments where you're like, oh, is this good enough? Or I don't know if it's good enough. So what I've decided to do is to make a third card. So I had accidentally cut this aperture into the front of a card blank. And then I've decided to go full on, like Gothic, sort of really striking stained glass window. So I've used the Onyx Black, I think that's what it's called, the black pearlescent card, and just use the shutter die. So I'm going to put that on the front, and I'm going to use some of the embellishment mousse around the edges and on the shutters. So it's going to look quite dramatic. And then you're going to open up the card, and you're going to see this. In here is going to be a mixture of the gloss mirror card and the pearlescent card there, and also some of the Nuvo drops. So yeah, so I'm just going to basically place these in, and then use some Nuvo drops as well. So it's going to be a really nice and striking card. So again, sit back, watch, enjoy yourselves as I assemble. Okay, my crafty friends, so all 3 cards are now complete. So we've got the first one here, which is the tunnel easel card. So you can actually just stand this up as a normal card if you want to, as well as standing it up in easel mode. And just tilt it up to the camera so that you can see. I'm really pleased with this. I really like the way that it's turned out, and like with all the dimension. The golden gates just look really effective in real life, as well as the subtle shine from the bricks. So that's the first card. And then the second card is really quite classy and elegant, I think. I went in and added a few elements. I added the home with the pink chiffon matte mirror card, and I used a pencil crayon to add some detail, so it's like slatted wooden shutters. And then on the inside I just coloured very lightly to make like a sort of grass and sky, which I think looks really nice there. And then this is our trifold card. So in here we've got wishing you a bright and beautiful day, so plenty of space to write your message or an essay should you wish. There we go, so that's the second card. And then the third card, I really like the way the Indian gold embellishment mousse looks when it's spread across the pearlescent black card. It just looks so like striking. So this is like a sort of very dramatic card. Again, I've gone for the sort of the home here. So this is again another one like inside looking out. This time I've used the Firestone red for the home. And then we open it up and you can see the beautiful stained glass window made from the various mirror and pearlescent cards, and then the pink is using the pink orchid Nuvo drops. Obviously because I've sort of spread it out with my poker tool, it's not flat and stuff, but I think that looks fine, because often with stained glass windows or windows in general you get like a sort of bobbly type of effect. And then you open that up and you've got, I've backed it onto some purple here because I just think that looks nice and striking on the inside. Obviously there was nowhere to write the message, so all I've done is just a simple folded that over, just scored a line about quarter or half an inch, and then just stuck this piece on the back with space to write your personal message. So that is all of our 3 cards, and I really like all of them. So let me know in the comments what you think your favourite is. There is just so much more to do with this kit. I mean, I haven't even touched the die with the smaller gates. That'd be really fun to play with. And I say you have got that little hanging sign that says welcome, so like doing a similar version to this, or a tunnel card, where you can find tutorials on YouTube of how to do a tunnel card. If you didn't want to use foam pads, you can just use like by folding the paper. It's not as sturdy as when you use foam pads, like, so it can dip and bow, but there's various different tutorials out there. So I'd love to hear any feedback or comments in the description box below. And yeah, so I'll see and speak to you soon with some more crafty goodness. Bye for now.